Hi, my name is Judy Vankooiman, and you're watching Life Issues. April's show is about the International Oddfellows, and my guest is Mary Vitilio. Welcome, Mary.
Thank you so much for having me. It's my pleasure to be here.
Thank you, and it's my pleasure to have you. I'm so happy. Mary, going to start talking about the Oddfellows, some basic history and information about them so
Yes.
people watching can learn more. When was it established?
In the early 1800s, and it was established in England and here in the United States by a gentleman named Thomas Wildy, and he was from Baltimore, Maryland. So he was instrumental in getting us started here in this country as well.
Okay, very good. And who is the International Oddfellows?
International Oddfellows, we have a huge group on a city and state level, and then you can move on up through the chairs to be a sovereign grandmaster or someone on that board, which allows you to not only travel in the United States, but outside the country as well. We believe in service, so that's what we're really working at.
Right, yeah. Speaking of titles and stuff, now there's different names that go with the titles and
Yes.
positions and all that.
Yes.
Would you like to explain, like, especially like some of the titles that you've had over the years?
Yes, thank you. Well, I will say that currently we have 27 men's lodges, working men's lodges, and 10 women's working lodges, and they are known as the Rebeccas, but the Rebeccas and Oddfellows work together. You start out for not only as a member of the lodge, but if you want to continue and be a bigger part of the lodge and all of the services and all of the community activities, you look at different chairs within the lodge if that's what you're looking to do. And you start out as a person that's at the door. And then we have a grandmaster, which is the person that's the highest position in the state, really. And then there's a deputy grandmaster. And then there's a secretary and a treasurer and all the people that carry on the functions to make the lodge run well. And here in Winthrop, it's Zenith Lodge. We're located at 196 Winthrop Street, right here, just two or three buildings down from the station here. And we have a noble grand, a vice grand, secretary, treasurer, kind of the same offices that you would have if you were going up the ladder to be in state offices. And everyone has their own function and responsibilities within the lodge and carrying on our businesses and the other activities that we have during the week or during the month. And most lodges meet twice a month. For instance, our lodge here, Zenith, meets the second and fourth Tuesdays of every month, and it's at 7:30. So just to let you know that. Mm-hmm. And we have a lot of community activities and participate a lot of community, and we can get into that, I guess.
Okay. And we talked about some of the little bit of history at the beginning of the show. Can you elaborate and talk about a little bit more history?
Well, the history, and then it was originally just a lot of men's lodges, and then the women's had their own separate lodges. And Recently, women have been allowed to join the men's lodges as well, and that is how I progressed with my own working up into the state lodges. And it's really a pleasure to work with the officers and other international officers to help. We really believe in service and within the community as well as the country, and growing up like that. So I'm going to slip my glasses on. I've made myself a couple of notes.
Okay.
Our objective is to improve and elevate the character of men and women. That's what our purpose is. And our creed is to friendship, which hears, believes, hopes, and endures all things. And love is the basis for life's ambitions, and truth, which is the ultimate goal of most fraternities. And we're a philosophy of life, and for the betterment of mankind, and that really is our whole purpose. And we work together in our lodges, having our business meetings, and also looking for new members. And a lot of times we have open meetings, so a person who might be interested in becoming an Odd Fellow, we will invite them in. We go through all of the business except for some ritual that is only held when there are closed meetings. But when we find out if people are interested, we definitely have open meetings and invite the public in. We also have barbecues and dinners, which will better let you meet the members of the lodge. And a lot of times, if it's smaller communities, you know each other already, and just find out exactly what you do. So. And the Order in America was formed, as you said, by Thomas Wilty in Baltimore, Maryland in 1819. And we follow the precepts of visiting the sick, relieving the distressed, burying the dead, and educating the orphans. And we have a lot of programs. Odd Fellowship is a worldwide fraternity, and over 8,000 units, and we have probably over 250,000 members in our organization.
Wow.
I'd like to talk a little bit about our programs. We support the Arthritis Association because, most everybody has a little bit of arthritis. And we have been, as a state, we have been working to support that organization for years. And we hold a lot of fundraisers to make that money. And once a year, when we have a grand session at the state, then we present someone from the Arthritis Association a nice check to help with their research for that. Currently, we're going to have a black tie gala, and that is a wonderful thing because the proceeds from that gala will support our home. We have an Odd Fellows home in Worcester, and it's a skilled nursing facility and rehabilitation serving the Worcester community and surrounding towns. And it is a beautiful place if people would like to go and visit. It's right there in Worcester off of 290. And a lot of other community projects. We invite the Red Cross in and have a lot of blood drives. And people have gotten to know that Zenith Lodge here in Winthrop does have a lot of blood drives. And helping the food pantry, that is another thing, because we have a nice food pantry here in Winthrop. And recently, our lodge had pledged to supply over 500 pounds of food. And actually, I think we realized over 700 pounds. And invited the veterans and also the Girl Scouts who came in to help and deliver things over to the food pantry. So we continue to work within the community to get people to know who we are and exactly what we do. So,
Great. And Mary, what is the mission of the Oddfellows?
the mission of our Oddfellows, as I said, to help mankind to build better relationships with each other. And we're looking for peace. Like everybody's looking for peace all over the world. So we're hoping that shows through in all of our actions.
Yep.
So.
Yep. And that kind of goes inside with the logo with the 3 rings, but each one means something. You want to?
Yes, it does. There are three rings, and it's friendship. The first is friendship. The center is friendship, love, and truth is the last one. And we have that logo everywhere. We also have that in big letters at our home, the Oddfellows home in Worcester as well. Means a lot, and I will just mention a little bit about friendship, love, and truth. Let's see. Friendship, which hears, believes, hopes, and endures all things. Love is the basis for life's ambitions and the passion to provide source to humanity, and truth, which is the goal of all fraternities, I believe. So,
That's very special.
and it's always red, white, and blue.
Yeah.
Yes.
Patriotic, very important.
Very patriotic, yes.
Okay. And you talked a little bit ago about the what the Oddfellows does, services and all
Yes,
that, and
yes.
one being the arthritis. Is there others that come to
Well,
mind?
there's the eye bank. Also, we have a program for youth and young people that are in the junior or senior year in high school can apply to go on the trips, and we have bus trips for them that go all over the New England area, and they come from all over the country. As a matter of fact, last year we had them here in Massachusetts, and there were 2 bus loads of young people, and we have them, and we feed them and take care of them and show them the different things within the Boston area in particularly. Historic sites, and they also go to Canada and they go to Washington, D.C., and it's a great experience for young people. So we certainly support that program.
Definitely. Good. And there's a dinner that's upcoming for members. What is that dinner?
Okay, the dinners. Every lodge likes to, we usually have a Grand Master of the state, and every lodge likes to have a Grand Master's night and invite the Grand Master and all his board of officers and their escorts to have a dinner and recognize them for the work that they have done, and they continue until the election of a next Grand Master. Ours will be a week from today right here in Winthrop, and where we've already invited all of the officers there, and we'll have a nice dinner in our dining room, and after we will go up to our lodge room where we will recognize all of the officers, especially the Grand Master too. And each Grand Master selects a project for their year, so we will present funds to the Grand Master to support his favorite project, and also something to him for his traveling, because he does a lot of traveling all over the state and in the New England area. So that's coming up, and we're excited about that.
Okay. And I'm going to backtrack a little bit and have you talk more about the home in Worcester.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful place, and it's a 100-bed facility, as I said. It is a beautiful home, and also for rehab as well. You can come do rehab and get back into your normal everyday routine. And great people that work there, all of our nurses and CNAs and all the directors, and of course our lodges throughout the state support that home, as well as the state itself. And for people who would like to see it is in Worcester off of 290. And as I said, there are a lot of people well taken care of, and they provide all kinds of activities for people as well. And we have functions for them, and we have dinners and barbecues where we have bands for them as well.
That's nice.
Yes, very nice place.
Now, is this home just for Oddfellow members only?
Well, no, it is not. It is for Oddfellows and Rebecca's, but also for people that need that service.
Okay.
They can apply for it. And we have nurses who work with larger hospitals if they need that service, and they will interview and go through the process of becoming a member of that home.
Okay, nice. Very good. All right. And Mary, is there anything else that you'd like to share about the Oddfellows and the Rebeccas?
We just want people to know that if you are looking to be a part of bigger programs and services within your community and outside the community as well, it's a great place to develop friendships that are long-lasting. And it's also for families as well. So when we have a lot of functions, the whole families are invited. As I said, a lot of time we're having barbecues during the summer, and set up our grills in the parking lot, and the whole neighborhood smells smells the good foods and stop by, because our lodge happens to be at a great place that's right in the community, that's well traveled. And so we do that, and Christmas gifts, food pantries, blood drives, a lot of other things, as I said, because we're looking to help the communities and be part of the communities in celebrations. We were just recently invited to participate in the St. Patrick's Day Parade in Worcester, and it was a wonderful time. And it was nice to see a lot of people along the sidelines, children who love parades.
Of course.
And it was really great to see that, and we're thankful. As I said, we like to participate in a lot of other activities, so that was one of them.
Awesome. Okay, great. And Mary, if anyone would like more information about the Oddfellows,
Yes.
what is the best way for them?
Well, you could call. We do have a telephone number. I don't know if he gave you that telephone number, but our lodge is 196 Winthrop Street, and usually I'm in the office maybe 2 or 3 days a week, and you could always call. And I'm listed in the telephone book, as a matter of fact, too, as the secretary. So
Actually, there's a storefront business in front of our the Oddfellows.
that's right. There is a storefront business there, and
Who is also a member.
John Munson, who is a member, he's our treasurer, as a matter of fact,
Yes.
and he has a nice business right there. And
Yes.
if people had
Awesome.
questions, they could stop in and ask. I'm sure John wouldn't mind.
And he has some great photography pictures that he has taken himself of New England, of
Yes.
just scenery. I just love his work.
Yes.
Awesome.
He's great. Really, really great guy. Has a nice business there, and we support each other. So that's a good thing. So
Okay. Well, thank you, Mary. I'm sorry, but that's all the time that we have.
Okay.
Thank you for all you do for those in need. I love to hear your thoughts and suggestions. Please send them to lifeissuestv@gmail.com. And remember, live each day to the fullest and celebrate life.
There are many theories about how Odd Fellowship first started and received its name. The most widely accepted belief is that it emerged in England from a group of working-class men who fell outside the established system of trade guilds. These men banded together to form their own labor union. Fellows from numerous odd trades gathered together to form a fraternity so to protect and care for their members and communities. Historically, there was no welfare state, trade unions, or national health insurance. These men would work together to help each other and the unfortunate families in their community get back on their feet by aiding each other in times of sickness and distress, whether it was rebuilding a barn that had burned or putting in a new crop after a devastating season. Such men became known as Odd Fellows, so named by the general population, who also thought they were an odd bunch of fellows who would behave in such a seemingly impractical, altruistic, and selfless fashion. The group then adopted the name. By the 1700s, there were numerous Odd Fellow organizations in the UK. In 1810, a number of lodges in the Manchester area created the Independent Order of Odd Fellows with the title Manchester Unity. With their improved system, they were able to persuade other Odd Fellow organizations to join their unity. They also chartered the Independent Order of Odd Fellows in America, founded on April 26, 1819, by Thomas Wildey and 4 other members of the fraternity from England. The American Order then established many branches around the world. On September 20th, 1851, the Odd Fellows became the first fraternal organization to accept women when they adopted the Rebecca degree. It was also the first fraternal organization to establish homes for the elderly and for orphan children. Many lodges also built and managed cemeteries for a decent burial for the deceased. During the golden age of fraternalism, the Odd Fellows were the largest fraternal organization in the world. The World Almanac showed that it had over 3.4 million members in 1915. Although non-political and non-sectarian, and contrary to the belief that it was just a working man's organization, it also claimed many notable members, which included 6 U.S. presidents such as Franklin Roosevelt and Warren G. Harding, as well as many senators, governors, and community leaders. Lucy Hobbs Taylor, the first female American dentist, was also a member of the order. The Oddfellows and Rebeccas also played a very important part in establishing many U.S. statehoods, Texas and California among those and many others. Law and order was established by the organization in many localities. Historically, Oddfellows Lodge Halls also played the part of the community center, where people would gather and conduct community activities. In many cities, Oddfellow lodges were the first organizations of any type, and a large number of their lodges have completed their first 100 years of service. Locally, nationally, and internationally, the Oddfellows and Rebeccas are involved in various charitable causes and humanitarian endeavors. The order donates over $775 million in relief projects annually. Their educational foundation gives scholarships and low-interest student loans to qualified applicants every year since 1927. They are also regular donors to the Arthritis Foundation, Visual Eye Research Foundation, American Heart Association, and many more. Their Living Legacy program has planted more than 8 million trees worldwide. Since 1949, the United Nations Pilgrimage sponsors high school students on a one-week trip to New York to visit the United Nations. The organization also manages more than 80 homes for the elderly and orphans, as well as several recreation camps and parks available for the whole family. They also help build and sponsor the SOS Children's Village, which houses 150 orphaned and AIDS-affected children ages 0 to 17 in Cambodia. They sponsor a float in the Rose Parade in California every year. They are the only fraternal organization permitted to conduct a pilgrimage to the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier and given the honor of bestowing a Grand Decoration of Chivalry Award upon an unknown soldier. They are indeed Oddfellows. Become a member now.